or one particular component, that is fund, that is money. All you need to do is you need to tap money for your research proposal, then that will be a very successful process. And just imagine whenever you are submitting any research proposal, my mentor and guide always say, just imagine yourself as a funding agency. When someone is submitting the same proposal to you, whether you will approve it or sanction it, just keep that in mind. So this is what always my mentor says. So I still till today I follow this saying from my mentor, and I always stick on to several things that are all funding agencies expecting and how it follows. As far as research proposal is considered, it is just a draft. It's a very formal document. There is no scope for any informalities, and it will clearly depict your plan, and also it will give you a proper justification with a methodology to investigate the problem. That's all. This is what the actual meaning or definition of a proposal. Can you all see the images? It's more about tapping funds. So if your project proposal is going to be sanctioned or approved, you're just going to tap funds. Now, why is research project important? Even today, if you see in this evening, all have joined online. 500 plus people or 600 people have joined online just to get some understanding and exploration about research project. Why? Maybe I have few things in my mind and I have enlisted here. Okay. Research project, if you're sanctioned with any project, it will add value to our research profile. And definitely a people with more projects will gain popularity in the field of research. Definitely your institution will recognize you. Institution will also grow very well with regards to NAC ranking, etc. And finally, funds will flow into your institution and also towards your research proceedings. How many of you agree with this? Can I hear some yes or no? If you agree with these points which I have enlisted here, I just want to see yes. Okay, agree. Okay, I can see more responses. Good. Right. But this is what everybody feels, right? But why do we really need research project? What is its real significance? Right? We need to just go in deeper to it, right? This is what at the outskirt or out the outline we all think that getting research project is more about popularity, fame, and it always add value to the institution, value to us, and it will build our research profile. But more than that, we are all agreeing to that point, but we need to be very conscious with few things whenever we are submitting a research proposal. That is, real significance of research project is more about academic and research contribution. Can you all see something here? We have taken so much from this society, so much from this planet, universe. It is the right time that you attempt to give something back to the society, to this organization, or to this universe, or to the world. And when you talk about research project, it add value to the existing field of knowledge. I'm getting so many beautiful positive responses for this thing. Knowledge creation, solution creation, very well. This is what the real significance is. And when you talk about real significance, it's also contribute to the socio-economic and scientific development. And furthermore, it leads to positive impact in the society with proper innovation, invention, discovery, and whatnot. And finally, it also further helps for better policies, programs, schemes for their social development. So the real significance of research project is not to take something, it is more about giving back to our own society and this planet. So if you talk about my experience, totally, I have applied 30 plus projects in my career, and 7 plus projects were shortlisted. Finally, I got 5 projects and 2 independent projects and 2 collaborative and 1 institutional project. So this is all about my experience. Why I've added this slide is because you need to know about the failure rate. Can somebody guess the failure rate? Out of 30 plus, it will be like 30, 35 projects. I got only 7 shortlisted. Okay, so what might be the failure rate? Failure rate is more than 50+%, right? So one thing that you all need to understand is if you really want to get a project sanctioned by any funding agency, you should never stop writing research proposal. You always hit the door very hard with your proposal. Sometimes the door may respond and open, and sometimes it may not, but you should be having a perseverance to knock it back again and again, right? So it's very important that if you are engaging with research proposals and project proceedings, you should have a strong perseverance to just stay in the track and stay in the race forever. So now I'm going to quickly follow up on all the plan of presentation now. It is all about who can apply. Yes, anyone can apply, but you should meet the eligibility criteria of the funding agency. This is what simple answer. Who can apply? Anyone can apply if you meet the eligibility criteria of the funding agency. But who may be preferred? This is just a general statement. Preference will be given for a person who is already having a PhD with a strong research profile, relevant publications in journals, books, chapters, proceedings, etc., and having a good experience in a research project like served as a research assistant or research associate, or already having some experience in collaborative projects and so on. And also, if you have a strong academic background, collaborations, and if you have already contributed enough for research, right? So this is all about application point of view, right? Now, where to apply? We have funding agencies. The very major classification is either you should choose government funding agencies or non-government or private funding agencies. When you talk about government funding agencies, we have very many, starting from central and state, including ministries. And we have several councils and organizations which are working under the government departments and ministries can also provide you projects. And we have several funding agencies like if you take Tamil Nadu government, we have TNSCST. Now they're also providing for sciences as well as social sciences research projects, and ICSSR for social sciences, and AACT for technical projects. And we have so many other funding agencies like ICMR for medical, pharma related projects. And we also have ministries and DST for science projects and so on. So it's better that you need to have a very thorough knowledge about funding agencies, and then you should proceed with your research project proposal work. Now, how to apply? First, you need to wait for a call, right? Now, ICSR got a call, and we also have one more organization got a call just to invite proposals from you. And in some cases, you can initiate and apply. For example, if you take any organization, and you have some idea in your mind which may solve the problem of that particular organization, you can definitely initiate and submit your project, and you can visit them, meet them in person, and you can submit and come back. If they have funds, they will definitely call you back. So few can concentrate on calls for project call, which is very regular. Most of the organization will give a project call regularly. But in some cases, even if you take your own ministry, own corporation, even panchayat, right? If you feel that you have solution for something, like some problem that they are facing, right? You can definitely go and submit your proposal related to it. For example, maybe there is a stray dog issues in your area, and if you really want to take a census of stray dogs, where you can involve students from microbiology, zoology, and you can form a team. You can also get in touch with veterinary hospitals, and you can definitely prepare one proposal and you can submit it, and you can undertake a project which will be like initiating project proposals and its submission. Whenever you receive any call, thoroughly read the guidelines. Guidelines are key in order to reduce the failures, and draft and prepare a very good proposal, brief, to the point, very effective, unique proposal, and then follow the submission process religiously. Submissions can be done in online via email or even uploading in web portals, and also it can be submitted in hard copy in a form of postal or sometime in person too. When we talk about research outline, I think Madam has already explained it in detail with a very loaded information yesterday. And all you need to aware is from title till budget, this is what consists, these are the components that constitutes research proposal. So now I'm just slowly venturing into the application process at ICSR. Dear participants, so far what we have seen is just about what is research proposal, and we also seen about importance of research project, why we are really curious and furious about research project. Then we quickly went through about who can apply, where to apply, and how to apply. Now I'm just going to take one example because due to lack of time, I cannot concentrate on multiple funding agencies. And to be very honest, most of the social science research funding agencies, some are the other way following the template of ICSSR only. Even if you take some ministries related to social welfare and affairs, they are also following ICSR template only. So more or less it will be similar. So we can just quickly go through how application process at ICSR happens. So if you just go to https://icsr.org web link, you will have the home page of ICSR. In that, you will have a proposal announcement or project announcement or project call. And this is the recent announcement with the deadline of 15th October. And there are guidelines related to the project. And here we have 20 plus pages of guidelines, which we definitely need to read word by word. And there will be a login which you have to register. Aadhaar is important, and all your details need to be correctly entered because editing of detail may be a problem for you. Once you create a login, you will get a major page of applications in which you will have various type of applications which is open. Right, I'm seeing that possible to apply as a new PhD pursuing scholar for projects. As far as ICSSR is concerned, they want a permanent faculty to apply, maybe from management or maybe from government organizations, but they want a permanent faculty with PhD degree. In some special projects, they may encourage research scholars to come into picture with the fellowship or research assistants, but those are all very special projects, not in general. So this is the portal of ICSSR major and minor project. Once you select major and minor project options provision, you can just get into the login page where you have to upload your photo. If it is already uploaded, it will be reflecting, and you have to give all your personal information. So once you give all the information, it will move on to the proposal draft page where again, whatever you drafted in a Word document, you are supposed to copy and paste it in the portal, or you can even upload it. There will be an option. And this is the timeline, which is very important for any research project. Can you see what is the timeline that I have given here for how much period I have included here? How many months? Yes, you can just use chat box 7 months. And within the 7 months, I have prepared a Gantt chart just to make sure that I have visibly presented the timeline right from paperwork of sanctioned project. I have taken from 1 month in order to recruit the research staff, purchasing the equipment, and settlement of the preliminary level of accounts expenditure, and visiting libraries, institutions, getting experts' opinion and consultancy, framing of research instrument and checking its reliability, conducting pilot study and all will be a second part. And then if you take like visiting the sample area, getting into field work in order to proceed with primary data collection is a third phase. And fourth phase is data analysis and interpretation. Fifth phase is drafting and presentation of report. Likewise, based on your proposal, you can prepare a very detailed timeline for the provided period. Since it is 7 months, I have little bit dumped this Gantt chart. If it is 2 years, then you can provide a quarterly breakup, right? It will come to 8 components, then you have to divide it into 8 components. Then second thing that is very important is about the budget. Budget is key for any winning proposal. Budget should be meaningful. Budget should be justifiable. You cannot simply and plainly give some rough number as your budget. Even today, whatever we are seeing in ICSSR recent proposal, the budget can be extended till 25 to 30 lakhs for 2 years project, which is a major project. But still, just like that, we cannot fix an amount. Instead, we need to do something very meaningful. And once we are done with the budget part, we need to concentrate on the final checks. So now proposal is drafted and you also prepared a timeline clearly and you also prepared a meaningful justifiable budget. Now what comes into picture? Plagiarism. Okay, now I'm going to ask a very simple question. How much plagiarism that we can have in our proposal? What might be the percentage of plagiarism that we can look for? Okay, 10%. Okay, good. 10, 10 again, below 10. Okay, 5%. I'm just waiting for a very nearest answer. Okay, right. Whenever you think about plagiarism, please concentrate on zero plagiarism. Okay, but you may ask me, how come that is possible? You don't worry about the plagiarism index that is provided by the plagiarism software. Let it have its own index, similarity index. But honestly, when you draft a proposal, you should maintain 100% research integrity and ethics. You should ensure that your proposal is not having even a single percent of component which is plagiarized. So, as far as any research funding agency is concerned, you need to concentrate on zero plagiarism. That should be ensured. Better you use some Turnitin or any related standard software to check plagiarism, which is very important. You cannot just like that go with some plagiarized content by checking online free sources that may lead to several issues. Instead, you can use some institutionally accessed Turnitin software or some related standard software to check plagiarism. Right. You can remove plagiarism with the proper paraphrasing by note making, and also you can use standard citations with the proper type of referencing. Definitely, you can get rid of plagiarism. So the third important thing for plagiarism-free research proposal is stick on to proper citations related to your discipline. For example, commerce and management, which citation is very common? Which type of citation is very common? Yes, anyone can answer in the chat box. Which format we normally use in commerce, management, or psychology, social sciences? Yes, MLA, Modern Language Association. Okay. MLA, if you say it is more for languages and literature. APA, American Psychology Association, is a very common referencing style that we all use. If you take sciences, they use differently. If you take technical proposals, they use IEEE format and so on. So you need to use appropriate citations and references in your proposal. Okay, now what I have stated with regard to AI generated content, did I say yes? What is the answer? Shall we include AI generated content? Definitely no. No funding agency is going to accept AI generated content with regard to the research proposal. So strict no, 100% no to AI generated content. As far as even ICSR is concerned, they have strictly said no generated content from AI and it should be 100% human prepared content. And please don't ever copy paste your proposal into any type of AI tools. Please be very cautious, right? Because ICSR process plagiarism as well as AI detection with their proposal. After rejecting that only, they will take the balanced proposals for scrutiny and evaluation. Now, acknowledge the restricted usage of AI. This ICSR is allowing. For example, if you are using it for grammar check, editing, formatting references, that is allowable to certain extent, but again, you need to be very cautious. So what is the percentage of plagiarism that we are all aiming for? Yes. 0. Excellent. Is it yes or no for AI content? It is always no for AI generated content. Very good. So now it is very important that we forward the proposal with the help of our head of the institution by having a final check. And as you all aware that this forwarding letter has always been provided by ICSSR. And if you take any government funding agency, they are very concerned about the forwarding thing, because fund is not to any individual who are applying the project. It is for the institution. And can you all see the list of 10 items for the submission of research proposal? Even if you take any government related funding agency, they're very particular about these kind of attachments. Even if you take ICSSR, the very first thing is they have provided a prescribed format for proposal, and you are expected to draft a proposal and forwarding letter, which I've shown just a slide before, and you are expected to submit UGC certificate also. And what is this 2F and 12B? 2F is a certificate given for UGC recognized institution, and 12B certificate, which is provided by UGC, will enable the institution to get the central funding assistance or central assistance. So ensure whether your organization is having either 2F or 12B or both 2F and 12B. That will be an add-on value for you. An employment certificate of the project director is important. PhD certificates, degree certificate is better. Even if you attach your award letter, that is also well and good. And if you're having co-PD, co-project directors, their PhD certificates also important. And so far, ICSR expects a brief CV, but right now they are expecting a comprehensive CV with all your detailed information is mandatory. And biodata of co-PD is also needed if you're submitting along with the co-PD. And as you all aware that any government organization in India at central level or state level, they follow reservation policy. So if you comes under reservation, you are expected to submit a related certificate. And I would also like to emphasize on one thing, as far as ICSR is concerned, or if you take any state government or central government project, they follow some reservation. Reservation at national state level, reservation at institutional level, reservation at individual level. What is state level or national level reservation? Which means whenever a central government is allotting funds for research projects, they always ensure for Tamil Nadu these number of projects, for northeastern states these number of projects, western side of the state these number of projects. So they have a regional reservation or state-wise reservation. This is only applicable for central government fundings, right? Then what is institutional level reservation? First priority will be given for whom? Any guesses? Those who are online. First preference will be given to Institute of, yes, government institution, or we have the centrally funded research institutions, right? First preference will be given to centrally funded research institution, followed by Institute of National Importance like IIT and IIM, followed by central universities, central research institutes, and centrally deemed institutions. Then state government, state universities, then government colleges, government aided institutions, then private deemed university, then private colleges. Can you understand this reservation? This is an institutional level reservation. What is individual level reservation? Even gender wise reservation is there, being a woman. And special category of reservation will be given for this particular category of people, those who can exercise reservation. At the same time, even if you're differently abled, even reservation is applicable for you. So just imagine reservation policy is highly practiced by central government as well as state government. Even now, TNSC, also practice reservation at all levels before they sanction any projects. So this is just an add-on information for you. And finally, this is a new thing that ICSR has introduced. You have to submit a declaration through your ethical committee if it is there in your institution, or you have to submit it through the head of IQAC or research development committee with software generated report attached, which means you're expected to run plagiarism and you have to get it acknowledged by any one among the three heads of the committee in order to submit your plagiarism certificate, in order to submit your research proposal. So please be very careful that research proposal is not only about the draft, right from abstract to conclusion. It is something more than that, right? Your CV matters, your biodata matters, your co-PD matters, their research profile matters, your institutional status matters, your institution type matters. It also very important that you are submitting appropriate paperwork in order to process your proposal positively. So now what comes? After going through all the guidelines, after drafting a proposal, after doing all the paperwork, now you have to either submit it or upload it in online. And as far as ICSR is concerned, you are also parallelly submit the hard copy of the documents to the ICSR. Can you see this man climbing the steps? Did he reach the top or he is yet to? Did he already reach or he is yet to? Is yet to reach. Why? Until your proposal reaches ICSR, the process will not complete. And now comes the process at ICSSR. Okay. So, yes, I am seeing one message in chat box. Yes, sir. This is all based on the proposal. For example, when Jal Jeevan Mission was in place, that proposal they have asked industry person to add it. And similarly, based on the projects, they always want industry people, scientists or technical person to be added with their original ID card scanned and uploaded. Right. Thank you, sir, for bringing in that particular information. And what ICSR will do, they will scrutinize the proposal, they will shortlist it. When they scrutinize and shortlist, most of the things will be technically done, and all this reservation accomplishments and all this categorization work will be done. Then they always invite the applicant from the presentation of research proposal. This is a very good status. If you are called for interview, which means your proposal is shortlisted and you're having a chance of 50-50. This is what I've heard, but I don't know the reality. But once you are called for interview, please give your best, because there is an opportunity for you to win your proposal and get it sanctioned. Right? You give your heart and mind and soul and prepare and well, do the presentation well, do the interview well, so that you can easily have your project sanctioned. So the very first step is when your proposal is shortlisted, they will call you for interview. For minor projects, there is no interview. Otherwise, if you take any major projects, even for special projects, you have interview. And finally, once you clear the interview, they will issue the sanction order. Once they issue the sanction order, you are expected to submit 7 more attachments, like undertaking declaration in 100 rupees stamp paper, along with the revised research proposal in case the interview panel have suggested, along with the award letter, grant and aid bill, along with the PFMS forms. Okay, these are all some paperworks. You need to be really ready for paperworks if the projects are going to be sanctioned for you. And you may be very curious what interview process and how it goes. Interview process, of course, it's a very little scary, because when I went for an interview very first time, it was during COVID and it was online interview. I've seen around 4 to 5 people being part of a panel, very senior most. social science researchers and scientists been in the panel, like really bombarding us with questions. And they always give a proper interview call letter, and they always want us to give a brief presentation. If it is online interview, please ensure that you're very timely, because once after the other, they always stick on to time strictly. There will be a person who call you to join the Gmeet link, which is already forwarded to you through email. And then you are expected to give a brief presentation. And you have to test your, the interviewers will test your knowledge, ability, personality, and integrity, and your preparation is very important. And finally, diplomacy to panel members is also very important. So once you are very good in that, you can always get and proceed with this sanctioned research project. So then automatically other paperworks will be followed. Then submission of project report will also be followed. So these are some of the points that I would like to really cover today. So this is A to Z complete process in ICSSR. Now we are just going into a live demo of few components of research project. Then we will come into this last slide, how to craft a winning proposal and strategies. So far, so good. Shall I proceed further with the live demo? Can I hear some yes or no? Yes, good. So now I'm just going into my folders. So can you all see my folder?
No. Yeah. Now it's
Okay. Thank you, sir. Right. So just to quickly recap, we've seen everything that is covered in the plan of presentation today, and we went through the entire process of ICSR proposal submission. Now I'm just going to give a live demo for your understanding. Don't get very confused with any loaded information. Just observe what I'm trying to present for next 10 to 15 minutes. And finally, we touch upon the crafting part of one slide, and then we will finish it off. Can you all see how many folders I have here? 6 to 7 folders. All these are my sanctioned projects, like 5 to 6. Can you see number of files here? Totally 20 files. These are all number of projects which I have applied for. And there are always some files which I may not apply to. So we need to properly maintain all the documents. Today, I'm just quickly go through how we need to proceed with proposal drafting. First, as usual, if you want to know about the funding agency, you can search and find all the list of funding agency. And as far as ICSSR is concerned, hope my web screen is visible. You can just directly get into its portal. From the top itself, you will have this call for application. When you go down, you can see this call for proposals for research projects on family and family systems. Can you all see the screen? Yes?
yes.
Oh,
We can see.
perfect. If you click this, you will have this announcement here. Can you see how many documents are lying here? Guidelines, format for proposal, format for biodata, forwarding letter, undertaking, contact details, and login to apply. So what I have done is I have just downloaded everything and kept here just to save time. Can you see all the documents here? So when I open this guidelines, you can see all the guidelines are here, and it run to around 12 pages. And it talks about the introduction of the project. I will just zoom in a little bit. And I'm just going to scroll out because you can just go through it later. And here they have given all the highlighted themes. And they have clearly given that permanently employed people are expected to apply. So eligibility will go down. And how to apply, and they have given a clear detail that it should be either in English or Hindi language. And this time they have restricted the multiple application. So multiple applications will result in rejection, right? And when you talk about the attachment, I think I've already displayed this. And this is very important. All the funding agency highlights about whether it is a major or minor, what is the expected duration, and what is the budget. and they always give the details of budget allocation, right? When you talk about the budget allocation, you need to stick on to this particular detail very clearly. For example, if you take this and if you work out your budget, it should fit clearly. We are going to just quickly go through the budget part also. And once after that, it will also restrict all the amount that should be allotted for field investigator, research assistant, research associate too. Likewise, you have to read all the guidelines perfectly. Then if you talk about proposal format, I think madam has scrolled down this proposal format. Okay, so this is a proposal format. I'm not wasting time by going back to it again and again. And this is something that you all need to really see. This is the research integrity undertaking that ICSR has recently added, and where you have to give proper declaration about plagiarism, AA usage, everything, and it has to be acknowledged by the head of institution. So from this, I really want to reiterate that zero plagiarism and no to AA is strictly followed. And again, you have to submit your comprehensive biodata as well as your curriculum vitae for the funding agency. So this is all about the attachment. So now what you need to do, you have identified the funding agencies and always have some list of funding agencies. This is the list I personally maintain, and whenever I find time, I go and check. So now I find the funding agency, I went through it. Now what is my next status? Now what I need to do is I need to check the earlier results. These are some of the results which I have already provided. So I just need to go through the results and find what are all being concentrated. Can you all see assistive technology, disabilities divides, and you can also see some sustainability and women related talks. So this results will give you some idea for you to proceed better for proposal drafting. Now I'm quickly go through my own proposal, okay, which is a sanctioned proposal. Whenever you are going for a proposal work, the title page is very important and you have to give a proper title. This is about one scheme, right? This is about Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao study. Can you all see this is about one scheme? The scheme itself gained importance and
Sir,
yes,
can you
sir.
zoom in?
Yes, sir.
Enlarge the font. Yeah.
Now, sir.
Yeah, yes, fine.
Okay. So now what we need to understand is this major theme I have chosen is Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao. I ensured it is part of my title. And socio-economic impact assessment is important. And since I've taken rural Tamil Nadu, it has added some added advantage. And this special call is on empirical studies. So I have ensured it is part of my title. So this is how you have to give a title. When coming to abstract, you can talk about some global remarks and you can also talk about some national remarks. What is the status in India? And you can also size down to your proposals, like which concentrates on socio-economic impact. And I have proposed a new model. This is a 5A model. This is what novelty in my study. So this framework, this model is added into my abstract part itself. And what methodology I have used? I have used mixed methodology. So qualitative and quantitative assessment is being done. These and all will add value to your proposals. And now introductory part. Can you all see that I have included some? For everything, citation is important. I've given a global database information. Then I came to national level data. Then I came to the exact part of this Beti Bachao scheme. Okay. Then in the introduction itself, I have spoken about my sample, that is Kadalur district. And subsequently, I have also included my model, new model, which I have included in my proposal. So everything should be brief and to the point. And just see international reviews. I have highlighted all the citations. right? And these are all very recent till date. Okay, since this was applied in the year 23, I have applied till date reviews, and national reviews again I have given till date review. Then research gap, you need to be very brief. Only limited number of studies have been undertaken, and further social economic assessment was very few. And what is the third gap? There is no new framework or model has been given. So this framework is about holistic approach. So three research gap is enough. Did I give more objectives? No, only three objective. One is about the assessment, second is about the model, and third thing is about the perception. And similarly, I have given three hypotheses related to objectives. And this is the model I have built. Normally, there is no provision for you to upload the image, but in the hard copy, you can add, because this may be get into the eyes of the scrutiny committee and you may be added much more value. So here it is very clear what are the factors I have included. This is what the 5A model I have introduced. So you need to be very sure that you have added something new in your proposal. And just imagine about the sample, how diverse my sample is. As far as quantitative data is concerned, I have considered Kadalur district and I have proposed a sample size of 500. And since it's a women-centric study, newly married couples, pregnant women, lactating mothers with girl child, parents of girl children, and young girls of 18 years. Why 18 years? Just to get a better consent. And as far as qualitative study is considered, I've included all the stakeholders in my study. Even the sample part is bombarded by the panelists. How are you going to search and how are you going to give all the data? You need to give everything in numbers. It has to be exponentially described, and statistical tools. Everything should be provided in your proposal, both graphically and textually, and information should have proper citations. Can you see? This will give you a clear picture of sample. Tamil Nadu, Kadalur, 10 taluk, 905 villages, 600 samples under multi-stage. And this is the Kadalur district, just to make it more impressive. And sample size, again, I have given a proper list. Again, special samples. What is innovation? My 5A approach is innovation, right? And expected outcome, I can say this will helpful for some papers, books, edited works, and so on. And what is the data set that I'm going to get? I'm going to get a data set from 600 sample units, right? Don't think that I'm rushing through, but it's just going to give you some idea, right? Otherwise, you can be your own creator. Now, coming to milestone, this is what the milestone, how first month, second month, and third month we are supposed to have. This is 6-month project. This is my budget. And this is how I have allotted my budget. Can you all see the budget screen here? I have included one
Yes, yes.
investigator, one assistant for 4 and 3 months. And then it has come to 5,45,000 rupees. So, and I have given a justification. Why research staff? Why field work? Why equipment? What I have added at the end? I've also added proper related references. So this is all about proposal draft. Can I hear some yes or no if you get a proper outline of proposal? I know that I've little bit rushed through, right? And don't expect me to share the proposal. It is confidential. This is the very first time I presented my proposal. Just to get some idea, since many budding researchers are here. Now, this is a final work that I'm going to do within 3 minutes, right? This is the Excel sheet that I normally use for budget. Can you all see this template? What is this template all about? This template is already giving a percentage for you. Research staff allotted 40%, field work allotted 30%, workshop 15%, equipment 10%, contingency 5%, and 10 lakhs. Just imagine how I have included it. I have just calculated all the amount, right? Very simple formula. If you're comfortable in Excel, what you can do is, I have decided my budget as 5 lakh rupee and I have just multiplied that with the person. For example, equal to 5 lakh multiplied by this percentage. So the allotted amount is how much? 2 lakh rupees. Right? And if I copy this and paste it here, 1,50,000. Similarly, if I paste it, I will get the final amount here. So this is what my budget all about, right? Only one thing that we need to consider here is all these amount we can paste it as it is because this is 30%. Okay, just imagine if I want to paste, I can just paste as it is, right? But the only problem is this amount, this 2 lakh has to split between this research assistant and field investigator. So we need to be very careful. How are we going to split it? For field investigator, it is 30,000. For research assistant, it is 32,000 rupees. Just imagine if the research assistant and field investigator has to be accommodated. If I multiply 32,000 into 4 months, what is the amount I am getting? 1,28,000 and 90,000. If you sum it, it is 2,18,000. So I need to reduce 18,000. So what I need to do, I can reduce 18,000 by reducing some months. I can make it as 3.5. I can make it as 2.5 possibly. This may give some amount roughly to 1,85,000. These adjustments are necessary. Okay. If I adjust this to certain extent, then this will give a greater amount adjustment where I will accommodate 1,10,000 for research assistant, 90,000 for field investigator, where I get a budget of how much? 5 lakhs here. And within this 5 lakhs, I'm allowed to take 7%, and 7% is 35,000. This is what budget is all about. So what you can actually do here is you can use Excel, just copy and paste the percentage, multiply with the amount that you're planning to. Since this is a 6-month project, I have taken 5 lakhs. If it is 2-year project, I can take, if it's a 2-year project, I can take 20 lakhs, right? And milestone, I always put it in Excel like this. Based on the milestone, year-wise breakup also I will give. Reviews also I will put it in Excel and I will format. And frameworks also I will always take a notes and do it. These are all some work files. So I would like to stop here by closing this Excel. And I know due to time constraint, I quickly rush through my last slide. Shall I take 1 minute, sir? Possibly?
Yes.
Okay. My last 1 minute, it is just going to be a quick recap. All we need to understand is if we want our proposal to be very winning, you need to have a strong research profile and understand the expectation of the funding agency so that it will be acknowledged, right? Stay updated with current trends and affairs. If you are not updated, automatically your proposal will not be counted. Uniqueness, novelty is key for your proposal. And title, methodology, sample, budget, timeline, you need to invest more time in this key areas. That is how you can enrich your proposal better. Academic integrity, research ethics, 100% you are supposed to maintain. And develop networking and collaboration. That will help you to prioritize interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, and transdisciplinary approach. So I'm stopping here. Thank you very much for all your patient listening. And if you have any questions, you can very well post it. And once again, I thank everybody, those who are patiently listening this session. And my special thanks to Vijay Solomon sir and Kalyani ma'am and Tabitha ma'am for keep on providing so much of input so that today the presentation has come out really well shaped. So my sincere thanks to them.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful presentation. I think I really appreciate the way you put it out so that everyone gets to know how to write a proposal and also to get the nuances of starting to get into this line of research and getting funding. Yeah, now it's time for the participants to ask a few questions. If you have anything in your mind, you can put it out on the chat box and we'll try to answer a few of them.
Yeah.
Or if someone is willing to put up the mic on, you can definitely do so and ask.
Yeah, yes. Participants can unmute yourself if you want to ask the speaker.
Yeah, we see a lot of thank you and excellent sessions. Yeah, thank you for all your appreciations. It's very nice to hear from you. We'd like to, Dr. Chinnamutu would like to take a few questions if you have, and he'd be happy to answer them for you.
If you are not going to ask any question, then I have few questions.
Yeah, there's one question that's come up. Any minimum and maximum limitation? That's from Dr. P. Nelson.
Okay. A limitation of what? It is limitation of the project proposal.
I think the amount, the funding.
Okay, it will be fixed by the funding agency. Here they have stated 30 lakhs. So you can decide on the period whether you are going to exhaust entire 2 years. Then you can just think about the amount that you would like to spend. How many field investigators you require, how many associates you require, how many assistants you require. Based on that, you can make sure the budget amount can be realized. It is not necessary that you should always give 30 lakhs, not necessary. It can be 27 lakhs, it can be 25 lakhs based on your needs and necessaries. So one good advantage with ICSR is percentage is given. So you can roughly assume some amount based on your requirement and put it in the Excel and get the amount.
Thank you, sir, for that. There's one question from Dr. Rama which says how to use the SPSS tool. Yeah, ma'am, we'll let you ask a question later. Next.
Okay, I think SPSS tools, I think that is a totally separate session. Maybe MCCRC may plan for it in future. Already they have conducted one successful session. Maybe you can gain knowledge from that.
Yeah, ma'am,
Sir, yeah. What about the cross-major research? Will that be allowed?
Yes, madam. Cross-major research is allowed, but the project proposal that you're applying, for example, it is related to some policy or program. Then what is the major discipline that they can consider? It may be public administration. If you are a public administration, you can be the PI. If you're not a public administration person, if you belong to management, but if you want to add on with some other modeling or conceptual framework with them, then you can be the co-PI. But
no, let me make it very like categorical. Now,
yes.
presently CSIR is asking for family and family systems research.
I
so I'm an associate professor of English. Yeah. ICSSR.
Yes.
So can I apply for that, sir? Will that be?
Yes, ma'am. Correct. I can totally understand this question. Now, English, being an English professor, if you're talking about family system, in what stand you're going to apply for the proposal? So you have to add your subject essence into the proposal where you can directly apply. For example, are you talking about any language, literary background, or family system?
No. I would like to do that research as an extension of my doctorate thesis, sir.
Ma'am, that and all ICSSR never bothers.
Okay.
Already teams are provided. If you take up any team, if you're matching, being a research person, if you're matching to the team, you're eligible to apply. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. So any other questions?
Sir, thank you. There's one more question from Dr. Wanda. For those who do not have a PhD yet, how can we gain experience to then apply for research project?
Right. So what you can actually do is, in some cases, ICSSR in some special calls, they will mention PhD is not mandatory for co-PIs. Or in that you can accompany with the PI who's having a project, who's having a, then you can gain out of it.
Okay,
that is one way that you can gain experience in project.
Ishwari Ilavarasi has asked one question. Shall I use the project report to be used for the PhD scholar if the work is done by the scholar?
That is the thing, like getting a project and asking a student to work on the project as a
Yes, yes, very well. But if it's a 2-year major project, there is a provision to appoint research assistant where the data set can be used for a research project, but not the report. So say with the same data set, a project can prepare a different PhD dissertation out of it, that is thesis out of it, and government project report should be different. That ICSR is allowing, but it should be a major project. University should also be informed about it for getting funds.
This one is from Pranil. Will you suggest any website or portal where I can get the latest funding project call from worldwide?
Sir, you need to have a list of funding agencies list. And to be very honest, how when I find all the calls is, I go and just browse through. Some university will list all the open call. Okay, you just browse through. Okay, research proposal call in your discipline or anything. Definitely will get a link from any institutions across the globe where they are following up with all the research institutions and they are just publishing that in their website. If you are getting that information, it will be a treasure for you. You can regularly visit that link and you can get all the current proposal calls.
All right, one more question. Is ICSR given some importance and scope for any discipline? This is from Sayama.
Ma'am, actually, whenever you talk about ICSR, all the social science disciplines are given importance. And whenever they are coming up with any specific project, if the project theme is related to any specific discipline, definitely they give importance. So this is very common, ma'am, because ICSR is exclusively for social science research.
All right, I think we have one more question here. I'm doing my PhD zoology full-time. Can I apply for this fund? Is this fund eligible for PhD zoology?
No, no, ma'am. Normally, no. Until or otherwise, ICS are coming up with any project related to zoology, and then if it is approved, then that is possible. Otherwise, in general, it is not possible, ma'am.
I think we can take a couple of more questions. There's one from Surya.
Probably
he says,
like we can just conclude formally, then we can ask the speaker to stay because it's 8:05. Let us stick
Yes,
onto the time.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we'll do that. Yeah, thank you. So I formally would like to thank Dr. Chinnamuthu for enabling this entire session and also giving his valuable insights, taking his time out from his busy schedule. He's been very busy with so many projects. I thank you so much, sir, for your effort. And I hope all the participants have learned a lot. And based on the questions that we see here, I believe there's a lot of information that's gone into the head. And I believe they'll come back to you for more suggestions and interactive sessions with you to increase into their research profile. Thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity
yes, sir.
that you
Thank
spent
you.
the time here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. And also thanks to all the participants for your